may shut you off. You may shut your camera.
Find a seat, guys. Come on. Find the seat. Find the seat. Come on, guys. Sit down. Okay. I want to welcome. Are we go?
We are on.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. Find a seat, guys. Find a seat. Okay, I want to welcome everyone to the New Jersey Antique Radio Club, September 11th, 2015, here at InfoAge. And yes, it's 9/11, and it's 14 years later. It seems like yesterday, but it is. And, it was as beautiful day it is today, it was back then too. Anyway, any new faces in the crowd? I see new faces. Yes, sir. Who are you?
My name is Steve Cavero.
You want to stand up, Steve? What do you collect, Steve?
Hi, Steve.
Sorry, what was your question?
What do you collect?
Well, I only have one thing in my collection. I just restored my heat kit from 1970 receiver. It's probably too new for you guys. But I bought another one, exactly the same unbuilt, which is really slow. It's going to be on YouTube. I'll send the link in a couple of weeks.
All right, that's great. Of course, you know, having only 2 radios, that's not a good thing. And more than likely, you won't last too long that way neither. You'll be getting more. Thank you. You'll definitely be getting more. And we're happy to have it. Anybody else? Good face. Yes, sir.
My name's Don Bela, my wife's Sarah, and I'll see your AR-29. I've got one of those. And I'll raise you a heat kit weather station. Happy to meet you.
All right, thanks. Very happy to have folks. Great. Where did you hear about us?
We were riding by this summer. We saw the antique car show. We stopped in, and I couldn't believe what I saw across the street here. Fantastic.
Great. That's what we're about. We're happy to have you guys. Thanks so much.
We have a visitor tonight, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dave Velosin. I'm with him on his
Well, what does that mean? I mean, Dave,
I pushed a button on there to change his slides.
You don't have to.
Oh, I don't have to? Then I'm leaving. I have no reason to.
well, if we can hook you, that's what we can.
Well, you're starting, right?
That's all right. Great.
Very interesting museum. Just was out there.
Very good. Happy to have you come by. Thank you. Okay. All right. It's on to old business. All right. Who attended AWA? Let's see. 1, 2. Okay. How about a report? Ray?
Well, it was a shadow of its former self. Programs were good. I didn't go to any, but I'm told they were great. You know, everybody was, I was busy trying to make some money. I didn't make much of it. But people were saying the programs were good. Flea market was shallow of its former self. Attendance was low. I didn't go to the museum either, so I can't tell you much about that.
Okay.
Not very promising.
How did you do vending?
Not very well. I didn't bring very much stuff, and the traffic was light.
I had heard it was between 120 and 140 convention goers, meaning signed up people.
140.
Yeah.
And the auction was really nothing like it formerly was.
you done with it, Ray, or are you gonna go again?
Next year, if I go, it would be my 40th year, so I guess I should go.
All right, thanks, Craig. Bill?
Yeah, pretty much what Ray said, the auction, the first day of the auction, the lease day, used to be like.
Excuse me, let me preface this. Bill is, used to be a worker there, right? He used to be a volunteer.
Yeah, but they owed me, so I couldn't. So now I just go, I pay my dues and I go, and the seminars and presentations were awesome, they were really good this year. A lot of experts there on many subjects. We have one guy, Tom Pereira, who is like a world-renowned expert on the Enigma machine. He gave a presentation on like a backstory about the movie, about the Enigma machine, whatever the name of the movie was. It was very good. Flea market was short. Auction wasn't that good this year. Fortunately or unfortunately, you look at it, one of the members passed away, and half the auction was his estate. So, yeah, it's camaraderie, and the seminars are the high point.
But, you know, people go for different reasons.
Yeah. A lot of people just went particularly just for the flea market, and so they stopped coming, so the flea market got smaller, so few people came.
Yeah,
Vicious cycle.
it feeds off itself.
Yeah.
And,
But the auction is open, the flea market is open to the public now, which it never used to be.
Right.
Which used to be their excuse why the tenants were low. But that didn't seem to be a problem. Yeah, they've been in the same venue now about 25, 30 years. They used to be down in Canandaigua, something, Henrietta, suburb of Rochester. So there's some rumors about them moving to a smaller venue, but they're comfortable there and they're probably going to stay there.
what about the museum?
Yeah, museum is awesome. They just got up on display the final Voice of America transmitter from a place out in California. I forget can't think of the name, but they got it up. They're not going to run it, obviously.
Yeah.
But it would take up that whole front of your.
Yeah, I saw the pictures there.
Yeah.
They had it mounted quickly and it was on.
Well, they had to get it out. Part of the deal was they had to have it on display by a certain time to get some sort of charitable write-off in the government and whatever.
Yeah.
So they did that, and unfortunately, they have about 5% of this on display of what they really have, because now since they built a new museum, it's a showplace. So they have very space inefficient displays. It looks nice, but from everything you see here, there's probably 10-20% more in hidden for a particular item.
Gotcha.
But overall, it was a good time. It's once a year, it's a vacation, and it's a
But,
weekend.
but it's not the 1990s.
No. I've been going since '96, and the flea market, I would say now, it literally has to be 90% smaller. Literally.
Yeah, I had 37 vendors, is what I heard.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was about 140, 142 attendees. And I know that because I did some paperwork.
Why do you think the attendance is so low now? Is people not, the collectors are just dropping off?
Bill, you want to answer that?
I don't know. 10 people have 15 different reasons. You talk to the board, they say, people, if they blame eBay, they blame the economy. You talk to the members, they blame the leadership, or they blame, the museum. A lot of the members feel the club's focus is more on the museum now than the actual club itself. And they kind of feel like the conference, the convention is just kind of, let's have a convention this year because we always had it. But it seems like a lot of people feel the main focus now is the museum, which is awesome. I can't say enough how beautiful the museum is, what they've done to it. I mean, they keep getting donations more than they can know what they can do with.
I know why it's down. I mean, it's kind of obvious. That thing's been around for a long time, and it was the place to go in the early days. And you had a lot of people that were, into the hobby at that time. So the combination of the flea market and the camaraderie, and also the lectures and everything, that's what brought people there. Well, that group has died off. That's all there is to it. And that was their place to go. Now, the collectors are in a different, they don't care about the history a lot. They don't care about they want to just sell and buy. And so that's not the place to be to sell and buy.
No.
And now it's Kutztown or wherever. And that's the whole reason. That the people that gave that place support every year are not around anymore with us. And it was sort of like a tradition, something like going to Mecca or something, doing the Hajj, was going to the AWAB. They're not around, and they're not going to bring them back unless they made it a very, if they, more aspect of buying and selling, and they're not going to do that. So it's going to be whatever it is. It's probably going to sort of appreciate even more so. And I think that's the way.
The seminars are all attended. I mean, you know, look at the seminar this year compared to last year, 2 years ago. You couldn't tell by the attendance at the seminars that attendance overall was down. It seems that people always went to seminars and still going. The only people who aren't there are the ones who went there for the flea market.
Yeah, the other reason was the flea market was so sparse that
Yeah.
people, they didn't stay
Right,
out.
but most people who went to the flea market never attended the seminars anyway.
Right.
They just want to stand and play with the flea
So
market.
now
So it's become more of like an educational thing than a swap meet or a flea market now. So,
All right, Jerry?
Just one quick question. Does AWA auction off their surplus?
they do have auctions for surplus. Yes, they do.
For their surplus?
Yes.
Don't they have an annual one in the spring?
Well, I don't, when I said surplus, like, if they get a donation and it's a duplicate of what they have, they will auction it. They usually auction it, pretty much on a real-time basis. In other words, every year, they'll go back and say, hey, we got, who knows,
But not at this event.
They did, yeah, the stuff in the auction that we just went to the AWA, yeah, they opened stuff off. Say somebody gives a R5, well, they got 500 R5s.
Right.
So they'll auction that off.
Any good, did you see any good stuff there?
This year, no. Unfortunately, this year the auction was low. The auction, I don't see a pattern in the auction. This year was low. The biggest, the smallest lot this year that I've ever seen was in paper and advertising. And we used to have like one whole table full of paper items and magazines. I think we had like 3 or 4 advertising items, one enamel, Xena sign or something, and some couple of books. But we used to have like a whole table like back there full of books and magazines, service manuals, not this year. So whether it's a harbinger of things to come, we'll find out next year.
My understanding was that most of the surplus stuff at auction was the spring meet. They don't.
Some go to the spring, they have a small spring meet. It's a one-day event, so it's not worth driving, 350 miles for a one-day event. So I looked into that one. But in this one, we had a lot of, for example, one of the founding members passed away last year, Lauren Peckham, and he donated everything he had, or his estate did, to the club, and a lot of the stuff they already had, so they auctioned that off.
Right.
Which his son gave it to the club to do with as they pleased. And occasionally they do auction off the surplus, both at this and the spring meet in March, I think it is.
All right, thank you. All right, as I mentioned at the August meeting, the Benton estate, it was a 3-day sale at the end of the month. I believe it was the 20th, 21st, 22nd, something like that. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I did not attend for reasons, but I know some of you guys did. So I'd like some response. Darren, I see you nodding your head.
Yeah, I was there. John was there. You were there. Who else was there? Dave was there. Al was there. It was.
Stand up, please.
Yeah. It was an interesting event. It was run by one of the better estate sale companies in New Jersey. The prices on the first day were high, which I guess is a wise way to do it if you don't know what you're selling, but as the estate sale progressed, the prices were more negotiable. It was one of the nicest quality sales I've been to in a while. A lot of good stuff. I got when I personally bought.
I'm sorry, when you say the good stuff, I mean, I believe radio-wise, maybe that was 10% of the sale from what I saw online.
Yeah, maybe.
The house is chock full of other stuff that was a lot more valuable.
There was a lot of photograph stuff, there was some Edison stuff. I picked up, a beautiful outdoor tent tombstone, missing 2 knobs, $60, and then, I mean, the last day of sale, like an hour before it ended, went back and picked up another Atwater Kent mantle radio, a little Art Deco wood set for like $25. Again, in almost perfect cosmetic condition. There was a lot of high-end stuff there. You know, some very nice things, a lot of unusual stuff. But the one thing I will say is I went up there very early in the morning to get numbers because of the photos I saw online. And the estate sale company did not make an announcement, but they were giving out numbers. The estate sale opening day was 9 o'clock Thursday morning. They gave out numbers 9 o'clock Wednesday. So I got up there like 4:30 in the morning, and I was number 58. And they had 115 numbers. They ran out of 115 numbers by 7:30. The only forgiving factor of all this was because the prices were initially high, the good stuff didn't run out the door that fast. And the other thing that had a lot to do with this that I learned later on is that there was another estate, and this was like when Stars bought it, because there was another estate sale going on that was less publicized in Lyndhurst. That was, if this was the sale of the century, this was the other sale of the century, because, and I do mean century because there was stuff in that house that went back well over 100 years. Radio, train.
Right, I read about it myself.
And other
But getting back to Ben Tom, I'm surprised that you guys are saying this, to tell you the truth. I thought it wasn't, from what I saw online, the photos, I didn't see anything that spectacular.
They didn't know what to take photos of. They took photos of all, you know, other stuff Ben had, some of the dishware, the furniture, stuff like that. But, you know, they don't know what us radio collectors, audiophiles, and, you know, people who do resale are looking for. They don't understand that. So, I mean, there were a lot of very unusual things lying around that house. Literally just lying around. If you dug, you found things. I mean, one of the things I picked up was I picked up what is it? The coil off of the spark gap transmitter, circled World War I. It says Signal Corps.
And your arc lamp.
Yeah, well, the arc lamp too, with the box of carbons for it. But, you know, there was no order to the house. Everything was, well, maybe at one time. And some things were very high priced, other things were well below the value. An example is the coil I picked up. They wanted $25 for it.
All right, anybody else? Dave?
I went looking for weird stuff, and I found it. Darren knows what this is. I found it in a little box. There was a little tiny box of stuff.
Did you watch it yet?
Yes, I did. It says Old Philosopher on it. Now, I had no idea what that meant, but the box looked to be about the right size, so I quickly opened one, and I found a reel of film inside there. And this was what I hoped it was. This is actually a Blonder Tongue television commercial on here. I don't think anybody's ever seen it.
Is it really?
Yeah. So I will be bringing that to a future meeting.
Sound.
So it's Eddie Lawrence.
Would sound?
Yes.
I assume it's Eddie Lawrence doing the old
Oh,
ones.
yeah. I was just gonna ask the same question.
Yeah, okay, I don't know, I'm ignorant, so you can, when I bring it in, we can all.
How'd the color hold up?
It's pretty magenta.
I'll give you the ones I have to see, because I think they're different.
Okay.
Al?
It was
there?
Yeah, like they say, it was sort of a strange arrangement. And there wasn't that much outrageous radio stuff. There were some nice things, but I suspect the really interesting, valuable things were like the diamond disc phonographs and things like that I don't think any of us got involved in that. I went away happy because I snagged one of Ben Tunn's crystal sets. And not only that, but he wrote it up on his website in excruciating detail. So, yeah, I'm happy.
All right, then that's good. That's very good. Right.
I'd just like to say something overall, because I thought it was very sad. And I didn't go, I got there the second day. But, you know, Ben had a lot of great stuff. But who got the benefit of all that stuff? Jerry, the guy who ran the sale. He probably got more benefit out of that than what his kids got, or what we got as collectors. There's a message there. Think about it. You're not going to live forever. It would have been very nice if some of that stuff got donated to museums. I mean, particularly the diamond disc record players. If while he was alive, he could have made the decision that this goes here, and that goes there, and, you know, I'm not going to take it with me. We also have a recent episode with Richard Kerr. So, fellas, think about it. You know, there's a saying, you should plan to die with $0, no debts, in a very Spartan, clean house, and hand the undertaker a rubber check. That's your plan. You know, you all tell me, my kids don't want any of this stuff. And they say, when you die, I'm going to get the dumpster. So the only way you can prevent that is to plan to get rid of it.
Ray, I harp on the same thing, but Ben told me that he did send a couple of radios and some things down here to the museum. Did he?
He did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
There are some things here.
You know,
Okay.
a few.
So I guess he sent down what he wanted to.
All right, there's an addendum to what you're saying. All right. Ben's son got in touch with me. What was his name again?
Benson.
Benson, right? Benson Tom. And he was very enthused. We communicated by email. And at that moment, I didn't realize he was a professor in California. And it was July 4th, Ben died, and that was a Saturday, I believe, so I think it was July 6th, a Monday, he contacted me. I said that I'll do anything to help you out. He was frantic, basically in his email, he was frantic as to what to do with his stuff, meaning radio-related items. So I said, look, what I'll do is, I'll get a hold of Dave Sika and Al Clays, who knew Ben and had been to his house. Dave had been many times. And the three of us will come, we'll survey the situation and let you know what you could do with the stuff. And he responded great. And I responded back, just let us know a time, date, and we'll be there. With that, end of communication. I emailed him again, nothing. Only to find out that Jerry's auction house took over.
Richard?
Did.
I think I can pretty much shed some light on how that happened and how it usually happens.
Well, I can imagine he's looking to sell all the other stuff,
Well, no.
not radio related.
Yeah, but what happened is the house, which is a desirable piece of property in West Orange, New Probably $1 million house. Somewhere in that neighborhood. What happens is, you call, the first thing you do is you call the real estate agent to give you a value and to ascertain what you're going to do next. And a wise real estate agent, and I know, for a matter of fact,
It's got to be broom swept.
what's that? Well, no, and yes, it has to be broom swept, and I know just the person to make that happen.
Of course.
Okay, and that's how the estate sale brokers get their estates. Of course. And that's exactly, I'm sure she walked in and said, "You're in California, let me handle everything." And that's how that happened. Because she showed up the day of the estate sale, and I heard her over her phone.
And some of us, we are in contact with these people that do that, so that they will be in contact with us. I understand. All right, so, that was,
Can I add one thing?
go ahead.
When I got there on the first day, the thing that people were rushing to grab were these long audio toms that were, but they were priced fairly high. But there were a couple that were missing parts, but the nice ones went real quick. Those were the first things to go. But what I find funny about it is the people ran and grabbed them and ran out, didn't bother to look around. I was looking around. We must have spent like over a couple hours there. And one of the things that I found, which I think is a better find than the audio, was a box of new old stock, still wrapped in paper, with spiral indicator knobs for the audio control.
Yes, we saw them on eBay.
Well, believe me, here's
What was the final on that?
What's that?
What was the
I
final?
sold a couple for $40 a piece.
Good for you. All right, let's move along. On to new business. Where is everybody going to be a week from tonight?
Pennsylvania.
I think people are going to be in Kutztown. I could probably be at an auction about this time too. How many people are going? How many vendors and how many? Look at this. Look at the hands going up. Going up. Look at this. How many vending? Yeah. Okay. We haven't seen snow in a while, but they usually give us a weather report. But I looked it up myself, and the weather's supposed to be very nice. The next Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Warm actually, so it'll be interesting. What I like to do when I get there too is to buy a calendar. It's also it's put out by John Hageman, but it benefits our sister club, Delaware Valley Historic Radio Club, and it's a really nice calendar. So pick one up. I'll be there vending too, so come over and buy something from me.
That rat.
No, yeah, the radio rap will be there, yes. All right, so that'll be their their fall meet, and I understand it's just as big. I was going to say something I see in, not that I subscribe to it, but CQ magazine, which I don't even know how they still exist. I stopped paying 6 months ago. I thought I expired, but it seems to still come. Anyway, just reading a few things, and there was a thing that caught my eye. A picture of somebody I know, and the picture is of Donald Walshy. And Donald Walshy is actually late Donald Walshy, and Donald was a member of our club. I looked him up on our roster, and he was a member in 2013, and I think maybe 2012. He was, according to this, he lived in Blairstown, but I knew him for being from northern New Jersey, in Pompton Lakes, I believe. Anyway, it's a very nice article, just about Elmers, and if you're a ham, you know about the Elmers and people that help each other, which, of course, we help each other here without even being called Elmers. But Donald was also an educator, and I remember having a conversation with him that he worked at the community college, he was in high schools, and he had been around a long time. And he had graduated from RCA Institute after the Korean War. But what struck my mind is that he was always one to the younger people, which is like the most important thing. And he got a lot of his high school students into ham radio and radio in general. So anyway, we didn't really know Don that well, but I do have nice conversations with him, and he did pass away in the spring. So I just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention. Okay. Matt Reynolds, where are you, Matt?
You're this guy here?
Up there, right in front of you. You gave us a very eloquent email. You want to repeat it to anybody here that didn't happen to read it in the reflector?
I don't really have it memorized.
Well, I'm sure you do. What have you been doing for the club? That's what I should be asking.
All right, so I've been spending way more time than I ever needed.
Take the microphone.
I spent way more time than I ever thought I would need to trying to figure out sources for higher voltage capacitors for things that need to have higher voltage past 630 volts, and I found some, and I sent out lots of requests for commitment to buy them before I bought it, and got pretty much nobody, so we didn't lay in a bunch of money to buy a bunch of brand new caps, and we found a decent amount of surplus values that are a little bit cheaper, and I think will cover a decent amount of stuff. And I put up the price list. Dave put it on the website today. I'll circulate it tomorrow so you can add it to the broadcast, or you can put my email in it. If they sell well, we'll order more. If we see that there's a demand for it, we'll buy some of the higher voltage ones in a larger quantity. But they should be good. Some of them are pretty good for the pilot. And I'm still trying to fix my own pilot, so I've been buying the parts that were in the broadcaster, those TVS diodes and 3 ohm resistors. And because you can't buy just what you need, you have to buy in bulk. I put my extra stuff into the club stock. So if you guys need pilot parts, I assume we'll have a kit to do the stuff that's not complex. So that's what I've been up to.
And we got the market cornered on Russian military caps, right?
Yeah.
And you see our.
And you said, guys, the club wants to thank you very much for all the research you did and digging. And you'll also be getting a raise for your. You may have noticed as you came in this evening that there were some rather large cakes on a table over there. Now, most of us, we see stuff and we just want to eat it. But you really have to read what it says on the top. And it's an amazing thing what you're going to see when you read what's on the top of the cake. Because it says the 60th year anniversary. And the 60 years happen to be the anniversary of Edith and Ray Chase. And the comment was that they wanted to share it with their friends. And that's what we are. We are all their friends, and we are their friends. So please come have a cup of coffee and a piece of cake at intermission, which is now.
Let's go! We know what it is!
last call in the 50s. Really the last call.
Really?
Really.
I'm not even looking at it.
But you know what?
last call 50/50. Really the last call for 50/50.
He might have been kidding.
So far 27 to 1. So far 27 to 1.
When's the last time you fought?
I never went
drawings, we have 1850 drawings,